Hey, now we are discussing the phenomenon of woke and the book Saving the World from Madness. The video discusses the effects of woke ideology and its relationship to Christianity in society. It examines how woke culture has changed perceptions of race, gender, sexuality, and justice. With woke culture, traditional values such as family and Christian morality have come under threat, and many churches have had to or wanted to adapt to the new values. The source of this video is the book, Saving the World from Madness: Trump Defeating the Woke Ideology. The starting point of woke culture was completely acceptable, for example, improving the status of black people in society. Martin Luther King Jr.'s anti-racism sought a world where skin color would not affect equality. Such actions were completely acceptable and reasonable. But in modern woke culture, skin color, status, and sexuality are very important. They are really emphasized strongly. And people are also categorized and evaluated based on the same factors. And not just on these factors, but also on speeches, writings, friends, social media, and more. The Nazis also developed similar classifications of people in Germany. They also wanted to classify people by skin color, sexual orientation, body type, race, disability, age, and hair color. The idea was the same as it is today. Certain human characteristics were given pluses, others minuses. People's real-life situation, or what they are like as a person, was not considered. Everyone was a representative of their group, regardless of what they had done. Regardless of what kind of education they had, or what kind of thoughts or opinions they had.
Canceling. A key tool of modern woke culture is cancellation. It was not part of the original woke phenomenon. Canceling aims to shut down the visibility and functioning of a target in public. A target, whether a person, company, or organization, can be a victim of canceling activism. This is especially true if someone accuses them of racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, anti-Muslim sentiment, or not supporting woke movements. Woke people define words that are not allowed to be used, words that are allowed to be used, and words that should be used. For example, the culture of the U.S. military was reformed under Obama to conform to the ideals of the woke ideology. An army chaplain was then forbidden from mentioning Jesus in his speeches so that his speech would not offend anyone. According to the doctrine of intersectionalism, the identities that have traditionally been and are in power are bad. These include male gender, especially heterosexual men, whiteness, and so-called cisgender. It means a person feels that they are in their natural gender. They are already privileged due to their group identity. Supported identities include femininity, transgenderism, blackness, and homosexuality. They are in a weaker position due to their group identity. The Wheel of Power and Privilege, published and originally written by Sylvia Duckworth, contains 12 characteristics according to which a group of people's relationship with power is assessed. Intersectional theory may come up in recruitment, for example. Especially in the public sector. The person with the most intersectional points is more likely to be selected. If two men apply for the same job and are equally qualified, a black homosexual will beat a white heterosexual. But if there were a black lesbian among the applicants, she would win.
In universities, some are anxious and outraged if someone claims that a man cannot give birth, that there are only two genders, or that a man cannot menstruate. The person expressing such ideas causes such severe anxiety for other students that the student in question, by decision of the university administration, is excluded from the course lectures. Diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI, refers to the fair, often fairer to someone, treatment and full participation of groups of people who, for some historical reason, have been underrepresented or discriminated against because of their identity or disability. After Donald Trump was re-elected as president in 2024, many large U.S. companies such as Meta, Amazon, Walmart, and McDonald's abandoned their DEI policy. On January 20, 2025, Trump signed a presidential decree ending the favor of radical and wasteful government DEI programs. Body positivity is also one aspect in woke culture and a social movement that aims to gain equal respect and rights for all types of bodies. In the late 2010s, ideology began to receive criticism for its permissive attitude towards obesity. Critics believe that obesity is a health risk that people do not dare to talk about because even experts are afraid of violating a person's right to be exactly who they want. Somehow, anti-Semitism has also increased during the woke culture. The same group of people who participate in woke events also participate in anti-Semitic demonstrations. Hatred towards Israel has increased, especially for defending Arab attacks. Some people think that when Israel does something, all Jews in the world are responsible for it. Every Jew, no matter where in Europe, America, or elsewhere. They suddenly become the bearers of responsibility for Israel's actions in the world. As if Israel's violent actions were a bad racial trait of Jews. The safe space principles are a practical tool for creating a respectful and non-discriminatory environment. An idea is that everyone has the right to a safe workplace where they can be themselves and feel respected for who they are. Sydney nightclub Club 77 has introduced new safety rules aimed at preventing harassment. The rules say that reaching out to other people is welcome, but all contact must be based on verbal consent. This also applies to staring at someone from a distance. The rules say, question raised. The guidelines said that staring from a distance is also prohibited, and that you should always ask permission first. So should you go and ask permission to stare first and then return to your seat to stare? Leftism and woke culture go hand in hand. Some have said that Christianity and socialism are close to each other because the early church members sold their houses and belongings, and the money was used according to the needs of each member. However, giving money to the church was voluntary. In fact, they are completely opposite. Christianity believes in a saving God, while socialism believes in a developing humanism. Communism, taken further, is based on complete and forced atheism. In Christianity, believers voluntarily shared their own property for the common good, while in communism, the property of others is forcibly distributed for the benefit of the political elite. Christianity is beginning to be seen as a religion invented by humans based on myths. Reasonable, well-educated, and well-taught people no longer believe the Bible's stories to be true. This will also apply to most members of the clergy. The clergy will divide into two groups. The majority will consider the Bible stories to be ancient people's ideas about divinity, while a very small minority will believe that the Bible really is God's revelation to humanity. Churches are shy about their own Christian and biblical truth and religious content and prefer to remain silent about them and instead talk about some things that the public finds good. Many churches will not accept a speaker who condemns gay marriage or female priesthood. If the Apostle Paul suddenly appeared in our country, he would not be allowed to speak in many churches. What about Jesus? More info in the book, Saving the World from Madness, Trump Defeating the Woke Ideology. Thank you for watching.